that's not what she's saying, then I've been singing that shit wrong since the song came out. You ever do that? You like a song, you think you're singing it right, and then you find out mad years later that you've always been singing it wrong? I do that all the time. I always make up words to songs. So, how was your 4th of July? Mine was exhausting. It was fun though. It was exhausting. I opened the restaurant yesterday. I closed the restaurant yesterday. Came home. Everybody came to my house at like 10 o'clock at night to watch fireworks. Can't even talk. My mom brought food and stuff, thinking we were gonna barbecue. I was like, what? Time out. I worked all day. I'm not barbecuing at 10 o'clock at night. But we watched fireworks until like around 12 o'clock. Everybody left and went home, and I couldn't go to sleep. I mean, I was tired, but I couldn't go to sleep. So I think I stayed up until like 2 watching. I watched some comedy on Facebook. Then I put my phone down to try to make my freaking self fall asleep, and I could not fall asleep. My brain wouldn't shut down. It was like annoying because I always wake up about 3 o'clock in the morning, between 3 and 4, and I'm like, what the hell? It's 2 o'clock. I woke up, the previous day at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I feel like I broke night. Came downstairs, watched a little TV, dozed off until 6:30, dozed off until 7:30, dozed off until 8:30, and here I am awake. Ever since she walked through that door. I feel like I'm hungover. I am so tired. I'm off to work again. I don't know if I just said that or not, but I'm off to work again to open and close. Today's my Friday. I can't wait. I can't wait for the restaurant to be closed. I hope it's not busy. My peopling, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm so tired. I've reached my limit of peopling. Like, I don't even want to people right now. I don't want to see people. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want a fake smile or for real smile. I just want to like lay on the couch, watch some Netflix. I want to finish watching Dark. I was watching Dark. I just want to be in my own head. Now I have to go to work and focus and be structured. We have a new consultant manager helping us with marketing and stuff. And I usually think of myself as a very humble manager. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I'm not like a helicopter boss. I'm part of the team. I'm not like I'm not like a dictator, like go do this, go do this, go do this, go do this. I see something, I do it. So part of the consultant's job is also to have more structure and do the training for the servers. I work in a high-end restaurant, and you have to have experience. And we are really short-staffed. We lost a lot of people over this whole CV pandemic. And the people that have applied have very little to none, experience. So our consultant manager, not only does she do the marketing, but she's also doing the training to take some of the duties off of my plate. And she called me a cream puff. I'm a cream puff. I need to be more stern. And I was like, kind of like blew my mind to be called a cream puff, because normally people are afraid to approach me because they think I'm a bitch. And when people don't do their job, I direct them, and then they get all nervous, and then they do their job, but they don't stick doing it. So what I lack is structure. I'm not even sorry, I was reading my messages. I'm not even afraid to admit that. I lack structure. I'm a lax person. I expect, as an adult to another adult, and if you're applying for a job and you get hired for this job as an adult, as a responsible adult, you should do the job you're hired for. I shouldn't have to be over your shoulders like, did you do this? 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 Like, what the fuck? Do your job. Do what you were hired to do. But we have a lot of young kids that work there, and I'm probably old enough to be some of their moms. Actually, I am old enough to be, because I have a 25-year-old, I have a 21-year-old, and I have a 12-year-old. And they're all about to be 22, 26, and 13. Wait, I said 22-year-old. Damn, I'm fucking tired. 12, my Rose is not 22, she's 12. Let's do this again. Karina, 21, Nico, 25, my Rose, 12. I think I need coffee. I only had one coffee today. By now, I'd be on my, third coffee. So yeah, I'm definitely old enough to be their moms. So I kind of, I guess when I'm around them, I'm like a mom, making sure that they're cleaning their room kind of thing. And if you don't do it, you're punished. But to have more structure, it can't be like that. So I can't be a cream puff, and I can't let them come to me and, give me the little puppy dog eyes and be like, but it's my mom's birthday. Can I please have the day off? Can I please go home early? Because normally I would let them if I don't need them. If I need them, then no, nobody can go home. Nobody can have the day off. But if I see I can handle it and, we can do without you, I'm okay with it. No. Because if I do that for one, I have to do that for all, which I do. But then that creates a door for them to walk all over me, and eventually they're going to wipe their feet on me, which I disagree with, because they don't know me. But what it is I'm either black or white. There's no gray area with me. It's either you get this or that, but nothing in between. So I have to learn how to have all three. And there's a point to this. Spiritually, a spiritual perspective, that brings up boundaries. Something I always talk about. And I realized what I'm doing. If you guys remember, when I took this job, I was worried about balance, boundaries. I was worried about spirituality and working in the 3D matrix and how I was going to bring this together. So for me to do that, I took myself out of, the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and lowered myself into the third dimension when I go to work with, in the back of my mind, awareness, knowing that I have to be aware of where I'm at and don't let myself get stuck in this 3D dimension, this realm, that I need to pull myself out. So I worked on that. So I see these people, and I'm in their 3D realm working, holding my vibration and, trying to be. Now this is where empathy, this is where my empathic self jumps in and always feels bad for everybody, wants to heal and help everybody and say yes. And I didn't want to be this big mean person, because I didn't want to drop low into this, third dimension and get stuck in there and get my head all filled up. My ego would be like, I'm a manager, So I don't have boundaries. I'm not balanced in the 3D realm. So I'm kind of just like a cream puff. So yesterday was a little bit of a hard day when all this was brought to my attention, because the truth hurts. I wasn't offended, But it was like, when the reality of it, when I was like, I had that aha moment, I was like, wow, I'm a fucking cream puff. Like, I've never heard that. Like, nobody, I mean, they're here, oh, you're such a nice girl. You're so sweet. I am, I can be, but I can also be a big meanie too. When I'm a grump, when you're not treating me right. And I didn't think that, that was happening at the place, but as a business, you need structure. Those young human beings that are working at that business are not my children, and I need to stop treating them like my children. I need to stop nurturing them like my children. And doesn't mean I have to be mean to them, but I have a tendency to connect and attach to people, or they have a tendency to attach to me because of my empathic side allows that. So I found balance, and I was working on balance and alignment in my everyday life. But then when I go to work, I cross the line. So I didn't have that at work. I didn't have that structure. I didn't have that balance. I didn't have that alignment. So our marketing manager, our consultant, our trainer, when she brought this to my attention, and she's an older woman, I think she's an enlightened woman. I don't think she knows it. She's in her 70s, beautiful soul. I think it's me in the future, because every time I look at her, I have this connection when we were talking, and I see a lot of me in her, especially when she shares her stories when she was younger. She was a lot like me, or I recognize me in her youth, and when I look at her, I see me when I get older. That's going to be me. I'm going to be more structured. I'm going to be more balanced. I'm going to be more aligned. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. She doesn't know that, what I'm telling you, unless she watches my video. I don't go around telling people, what I pick up on energetically, unless I'm guided to. But I'm just sharing that in my video with you guys, to get to the point of this whole conversation. But people come into our lives all the time. I'm always a student. Even though you may look at me as a teacher, I'm also a student. So my divine spiritual team steps in when they need to, and the woman that was hired, she was guided to come in at this time, especially with everything that's going on. The world is crazy, and she's some of the glue that holds me together even when I'm not at work. She brings a lot of things up to my awareness that have really helped me stay on the right path. So I really truly do believe, we make a contract with people to step in at certain times when we're here on earth in this human form, in this avatar. And she came in to help me, to kind of mold me, to keep me on the right path. She was contracted to do that, and I recognize that, and that's a beautiful thing. Even though my future me just called me a cream puff. I'm a cream puff. And it's so funny because I see a lot of enlightened people that come into my life. I recognize their signature by their glow. I can recognize the glow. And a majority of them have blonde hair. Not all of them, but a majority of them have blonde hair. And I don't know if that's just part of my soul group, part of my signature, part of my blueprint. I don't know. But a majority of them have light hair, white or blonde hair. Again, not all of them, but there's a majority of them that come in, and I recognize that signature, and I recognize it right away, especially when they have the lighter color hair. Maybe that lighter color hair is ultimately just an aspect of me. Even though you're an aspect of me, I'm an aspect of you, we're a fractal of source. You have to think quantum at this point when you're talking about when you get more advanced. But I don't want to make it difficult, especially if you're new and you're coming to my channel. You're like, what the hell is she talking about? For the most part, most of you guys understand where I'm coming from and where I'm going with this. But yeah. So how was your 4th of July? Last night I thought it was the lunar eclipse. I believe it's tonight, actually, the lunar eclipse. But the moon was so beautiful last night. It was huge. The sky was clear. I saw all the stars, even though there were some stars in the sky that I swear moved. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you guys. I had the most beautiful experience. On my way home from work, a gopher ran across the road behind me. I saw it in the rearview mirror. Then a deer was standing on the side of the road looking at me, caught my attention, and our eyes connected, and we looked at each other, and we had a moment. It was like we spoke. I don't know what we said, but we spoke. We had a moment. Then I caught a rabbit bouncing away or hopping away. And I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm attracting all of these weird animals. At work, I had a moment with a bird. I thought he ran into the wall, and I thought something was wrong with him. Come to find out, he was pecking bugs off the wall, hunting bugs, and then he would go down and he'd peck them off the ground. But we had a moment because he looked at me and he said beep 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 beep, and then he moved his head like he was really having a conversation with me, and I was just like looking at him like, I swear that bird's talking to me. And then it looked like he shook his head when I said that. I was like, holy shit, I think he just acknowledged what I just said. And then he looked at me like this, and then he just like flew away, and I was like, wow, I think I just connected with that bird. And then when I get home, I see a big ass bird fly into my daughter's trampoline. I was like, whoa, is that a bat? And then another one did it, and then another one did it, and then they were all inside. I'm like, oh damn, all these birds are trapped inside her trampoline. So I started to go up to it because I didn't know if they were birds or bats. So I was really careful. And then when I get up close, it's an owl. They're all baby owls. There were like 5. I can't remember if I counted 5 or 6. And they were not stuck. They were just, I think all the fireworks were scaring them, and they must have scared them out of their nest. And they came in, and then one perched on the top of her trampoline. So I walked up to it, and this is the only one that didn't fly away. And he made his little owl noise, like the little hoo-hoo, and then a weird, like a crying, like he was crying. Like all of them were crying, but this one stayed and cried. And I think they were scared. That's what I got from it. I felt that they were scared, and I felt really sad, and told my husband, I don't even want to do your fireworks because, I don't want to scare these poor babies. But our fireworks were weak compared to the ones that were going on around us. We didn't go to Pennsylvania and buy the big bomb ones. So yeah, they were everywhere, and the little guy just stood there. I recorded him, but it was so dark outside that you can't even see it. But I was talking to him, and he was just looking at me. I swear I could have probably, if I wasn't scared of the owl, because their beak looks pointy and sharp, that I probably could have picked him up. But I was scared that, what if he pecked me? He'd probably bite my finger off or something. Birds scare me. I mean, I'm fascinated by birds, but I was bitten by one. I don't know if you could see it. I was bitten by a little tiny bird. It was a house bird. One of my friend's conures or whatever. The little fucker bit me. He left a scar. I have 2 of them. And I was so scared of the bird. And I have a scar from him. So that kind of traumatized me. But birds, I don't know. It's like I have this attraction with birds. I love hawks. I see them all the time. And now owls. And that one just staying with me. And then all night long as I was falling asleep, I kept dreaming with this owl. It was just cool. It was a great experience. I don't think I've ever seen an owl, ever. This is the first time seeing one. 5 baby owls. Then this morning my husband told me that they were back outside in the tree crying, but by the time I went outside, I don't know if they went to bed, I don't know if they flew away, but apparently I have owls outside. So tonight, because it's my Friday, I'm going to see if I can sit outside tonight and see if the owls will come back and visit. But I think that's a blessing. That's a blessing. The symbolic meaning of it in itself is a blessing. You're going to have to look it up if you want to know, because I'm at work and I got to go. But thank you for listening to me talk. How was your 4th of July? Do you feel different today? They said something was going to happen. So I paid a lot of attention to the sky last night to see if anything was, popping off in the sky, but I didn't see much. But I don't know. I'll be out there tonight too to see if I see any invaders coming down. I don't know. I was kind of hoping for something big to happen. Not just fireworks, but something big. But I don't know. We shall see. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you for listening to me just chit chat and talk. I really had no point to this video. I mean, there was a little bit of something that I had there with the boundaries, the alignment, and all that stuff. So maybe that resonates with some of you guys. Maybe somebody needed to hear that. But I'm off, and my intention is to do a real video for you guys. We shall see. I'm just so tired right now, I can't even really think. It's like whatever. I think I repeated myself, and don't know what I'm talking about. Probably just like blah, blah, blahing. All right, I'm going now. Love you. Bye. I gotta go get some coffee. See you later.